the Charles V. Keating Center here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. It's game number 3 of the Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championship between the St. Francis Xavier X-Women and the St. Mary's Huskies. Hi everybody, Dan Hobson alongside Joel McDougall. Joel, it's even at ones. Of course, the road team has won both. Game 3 is going to be a dandy.
Should be a great game. As you mentioned, home ice hasn't meant much. Be interesting to see with the bigger crowd here tonight if StFX can do it on home ice with everybody behind them.
All right, we're going to go to...
If you like this, you'll like this too. Introducing Budweiser Prohibition Brew. The first non-alcoholic beer that actually tastes like beer.
Clock is ticking. It's do or die, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology. So you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Our country on our shoulders, an arena ready to erupt, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
Our country...
Hey, go on! Go on! Mind your own business!
The antenna is holding, sir.
Yes, bravo. Oh, look there. Yes, indeed. This is going to make your world a lot different than the one I grew up in.
You know where England is?
Sure, it's over there.
And over there is where that sound is coming from. Right, Mr. Marconi?
Through the air, across the ocean. The first time ever.
Roger, 8 plus 34, 9 plus 09.
Craving warmth? You're getting warmer. Warm up your taste buds with Subway's new steak mushroom melts. 100% Canadian seasoned steak, topped with sliced mushrooms and melted mozzarella cheese. Also available on Italian bread or grilled wrap. Get them while they're hot.
Game 3, where else would you want to be on a Tuesday night here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, and also on 5TV1 as you take a look at the starting goaltender, Carly Molnar there for the St. Francis Xavier X-Women. What a fantastic game she had on Sunday night, 33 saves in Game 2, and of course she missed most of last year being injured, only playing 195 minutes. And of course, same old starting goaltender there for the St. Mary's Huskies. It will be Rebecca Clark. She backstopped into a championship last year, hoping to do the same this year. Referee is Diane Aikita, lineswomen Sophie Thompson and Jane Orglevy as we are underway. And they'll start it off with the Landsleeve line out here of Pollock and Blanche for the Huskies. And the usual starting lineup of Elliot Buljonati, the forward line here for the X-Women. Joel, be interesting to see what type of start these teams are, or see if they have a little bit of jitters. What do you think so far here in the early going?
I think we're going to see two very impressive efforts from both teams tonight. I think both of them know what's at stake. They both know they're going to the championship, but both of them want the pride of taking home that AUS banner. So I think we're going to have a good hockey game. I don't think nerves will be too much involved, just a lot of excitement and a lot of intense hockey.
Yeah, of course, Audie's back in the lineup there, so she missed game 2. As remember, we covered that game 1. They got that boarding penalty in the 6 seconds left to go as Clark makes a stop in the early going here. Just 47 ticks gone here in the first period. Took a boarding penalty at the 6-second mark, as I mentioned, and was suspended for game 2. But talking to the coaching staff, they said, well, one player doesn't make a team, and they came out and they really rallied behind the fact that Audie was not in the lineup there and came away with the 2-1 victory. And they gave the star of the game there to Sarah Bujo, but they could have easily given it to Molnar. As we mentioned off the top, a fantastic effort in that one. 33 saves and the 2-1 win. So that's why we are here at game 3 here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, as we just passed the 1 minute mark. Corcoran and Winters there, the defensive matchups here. Of course, you'll see maybe a little bit of changing here as that rolls in. A weak shot from well out that goes in, and Mulder gets her first touch of the puck here. Just 1:06 gone, first period. So the goaltenders have sort of gotten what they wanted, a little bit of a feel for the puck early.
Yeah, I was wondering that because in the game 1 here in Antigonish a few nights ago, there was a couple questionable goals let in by both sides. Not to say that they were really the difference makers, but it'd be interesting to see how both these goaltenders face up to the pressure of the rubber match here tonight.
Pegovic, who's been pretty good in the face-off circle, a clean win. They got a shot, so Mulder's had to make a couple of early saves here in their early going, and another face-off win, something that they want to improve on. StFX in game 2 won the face-off battle, and a puck possession game that we talked about in game number 1. That is really crucial. Here's Patty Ann Tracy. Of course, we mentioned she was in game 1, of course, a member of the Subway Selects, and she brought it out dangerously. Won a silver medal, hoping now, of course, to win a gold here for the AUS Championships. As you mentioned, regardless, both teams going to the Nationals March 15th to March 18th, and they're at Western University in London, Ontario. Teams making changes here as we are coming up to the 2 minute mark here. The Lansleeve line out there along with Pollock and Blanche. Here's Bujo. She's had lots of shots here in this series. Won't get a shot this time as it checked off her stick just in the nick of time. As Wilkinson now will rim it around. Here's Harrietta there on the far side. And it's just bothered there just enough there by Emerson, the tall rookie of the year for the X-Women. 2 minutes and 10 seconds gone here in the first period. Still no score between the Huskies and X-Women here on 5TV1. Lead pass, Blanche starting to break away. Blanche going in, one-on-one, unable to get a shot, and Audie might have picked just enough, distracted enough, and was unable to get the shot, but a nice burst of speed by Blanche there, and the best chance of the game so far for Smooth Joel.
Yeah, Blanche a little unhappy. Felt there should have been a call there, like she was harassed with the stick from behind, as we get another chance right here on the Huskies net.
Yeah, McDonald, she was pretty good at putting the puck there. Had a great playoff run last year, been a little bit quiet. Here's Warndell now, wrist shot, and didn't quite get all of that. Steers towards the corner, bumps Molnar there in the process, going towards the corner as we come up to the 3 minute mark. Just only one whistle so far. Here is McDonald. We talked about her, 1 goal and 5 assists in the regular season here for StFX. And of course, she's in her 4th year out of Osgood, Ontario. In the lineup, Noseworthy there. We'll roll it in pretty easily. Stopped there by Clark, steered towards the corner. As we mentioned, of course, a couple lineup changes. Audie is in the lineup, and Emily Power back in the lineup. Of course, we had her on the intermission here at game number 1. She's in, and tonight's scratch will be Johnson. She'll join us in the second intermission. 3.5 gone, first period. Wilkinson dumps it in towards the corner, gets by everybody. Amy Graham, who's been stellar there. Of course, Amy Graham in her first year out of Nepean, Ontario, 10 points in the regular season. A stellar defenseman, knocks it down. Defense women, whichever you want to call it. Skirman, she had a pretty good game too in the face-off circle there. 12 of 20, dumps it in. Goes in for the change. Pollock there trying to get things going. A break pass is picked off. A little bit of a scramble play, and coming back, Emerson Elliott with speed. She has Donovan on her side. There's Donovan there, puts it towards the net. Stick side save there by Clark. Audie picks it up. You got to wonder if they get a little bit of boost. Donovan there with a shot that's wide of the net. Emerson there gets it off the end boards. Back to Audie. Not sure if she's going to try to get it back to Donovan anyway. Donovan gets the shot away and it sails just a little bit wide of the net. Clark might have got a little piece of it there. As Donovan goes back, 4.5 gone here. Elliott's pass a little bit too far out of reach for her, so she'll go off for a change as Timmerman first back there for the St. Mary's Huskies. There's a lead pass. Askin, he was the goal scorer there in game number 2. A slapper there that got past Molnar. It's the only blemish in game number 2. There's a shot from well out there. Timmerman just put it right on net. Not really a weak one. Oh, there's a wraparound champ. Has a couple of whacks there as the Huskies are pressing here. This top line doing the work. Birch, Murphy, and Warndell getting a couple of chances as the whistle stops play, and our first penalty of the game comes up. Diane Aikita making the call. And as we watch the breakaway here by Blanche, pretty well blows by a couple of players, and Audie just picked her just enough, Joel.
Yeah, you can see Audie did have the stick in there, but I think it's kind of a good call that they didn't make on that one. It wasn't an overly aggressive stick check, just enough to throw Blanche off. But now we will have the first power play of the game for the Huskies as they had a little bit of pressure. Molnar wasn't able to grab that rebound a couple times and it led to a penalty on the ex-women.
And then Askin puts it towards the net, so the penalty goes to Halliday there. She'll sit 2 or less. First power play chance so far. No team has been really successful on the power play here in this series. Huskies hoping to change that right now as Askin puts a 55-footer away, hits the outside of the net. StFX had a chance to clear. Askin couldn't handle it and has to come back her own side of ice and back down, and Skirvin goes down, and just like that, the power play will be coming to an end as Skirvin there in a penalty killing role had Askin flat-footed, and she'll now go to the box.
Yeah,
so it'll be forced side.
Great work by Skirvin here as you see high pressure on the defenseman. Really no play for Askin except for to take Skirvin down, or she has a clear lane to the net, a breakaway chance while short-handed. And we'll play a little 4-on-4 here.
So all of a sudden the rink that is a little bit bigger than the Alumni Arena is going to get a little bit bigger here for some of these speedy forwards here on both teams. The minute 7 left in the Halliday penalty as Bujo, they get the game winner in overtime in game number 2. She also got the overtime winner in the series against Moncton in game 2 to punch their ticket here to this final. Gravel with a shot from outside, and that's stopped there by Clark. Nothing there in terms of traffic there. No white jerseys on the doorstep. Audie has it in the face-off circle, trying to spit away from Murphy, and there was a little miscommunication there. Dropped it to Gravel. She wasn't back there. 40 seconds left in the Halliday penalty. A minute and 18 left to the Askins penalty. Donovan now, wrist shot, stop, rebound there, and just going high over the net was Goddess, getting to be a little bit of a hero here in this playoff series. 4 goals in the regular season, 2 so far here in the championships, and almost had another one. And speaking of her, she has the puck, but he has it checked off her stick as Pollock comes back the other way with Landsleeve. 2-on-3, Landsleeve fans on it. Puck was just sticking to her like a magnet there. It did get another chance, but unable to get a shot. 7 seconds left in the Halliday penalty, so there'll be a brief power play of about 40 seconds once Halliday comes out of the box. There she is, 40 seconds. Man advantage here for StFX. And as I mentioned earlier, both teams have not been able to capitalize on the power play. And for the St. Francis Xavier ex-women, they were 0 for 2 in game 1 and 0 for 1 in game 3. And St. Mary's had some time there, and they'll send it down the ice. Horwood up there doing some checking here. 17 seconds left in the Askin penalty. Boulgeot, Audie, Donovan, as well as Gravel and Elliott, the power play unit here for StFX. Audie goes down, blows the tire, keeps on going. 4 seconds left in the Askin penalty. Goaltender tapping the stick to indicate that the penalty is over. And Askin will be coming in your screen. There she is right now as we come up to the 8-minute mark here in the opening period. So far, just a couple penalties and just a few whistles, but what action we have here at the Charles V. Keating Center here in Antigonish. A pretty good crowd on hand. Of course, the men will be taking on UNB tomorrow in this very building, game number 2, and we'll have that one here on 5TV1. Back to the task at hand. Pekovic there, center ice. Hits a stick and goes into the bench and out of play. 8 minutes and 21 seconds left to go. both teams still struggling on the power play. Really not much in good, strong chances, Joel.
No, not really. Not through either power play. Just an abbreviated one for the X-Women. Were never really able to gain control and set up anything as they kind of started the power play on the back check for when it started. But both teams have had a little bit of pressure, a little bit of speed, and it's been quick, so it'll be interesting to see who can take the advantage.
Speaking of advantage, Skirvin gets a little bit of a worm burner and a weak one there. Backhand towards Clark for a stop. One of the things I think that definitely that the SMU has to really prove is we take a look at the Subway Player of the Week. Male side, Audie Cummings out of Dalhousie University, of course, was a participant at the Men's Track and Field Championships in Moncton. And, of course, he is, as we mentioned, a Dalhousie student, and he's in his 4th year taking therapeutic recreation. Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University Sport, and the proud sponsor of these very own Women's Hockey Championships that you're watching right now, the championship final, SMU and StFX, here on 5TV1. If you're just joining us, my name's Dan Hobson. We're delighted to have Joel McDougall along for the call. Producers Brian Fisher, our camera operators are Chris and Dave. Glad to be here. In the meantime, Askin, shot, glove save, Molnar. And she puts her stick right up there, prevent any SMU player from coming towards the net. And flashing the letter, Molnar there, Joel.
Good play by Molnar there, strong in the net, nice glove save. And it bails out her defense as they kind of get lost at the offensive blue line, gives a break for Askin all the way. He had Warndell going to the net on the other side, but Molnar well out of the net, cuts down the angle and grasps it with the glove hand.
Pollock, the 5th-year player there out of Bedford, there unable to settle that puck down, and back comes Audie the other way. She's a little bit fresh, as we mentioned at the top. Missed game 2 due to suspension. Glad to be back in the lineup. And of course, Power back in the lineup here for StFX. So the odd person out here is Johnson. As I said, we'll have her in the coming up in the intermission, the second intermission. And Rumbell out of the lineup here for the Huskies. So Curly Baker, see how many shifts she gets here tonight in the lineup here for the Huskies. So those are your lineup changes here as we're coming up to the halfway point here of the first period. Still looking for the first goal. And shots in favor of StFX 6-4. Puck back out center ice area. Henrietta stops it. Puts in a long shot from Molnar. She steers it aside. And Halliday will settle it down, but she's unable to get it past Henrietta as Henrietta holds the line there for SMU. 9:54 left to go here in the first period. Noseworthy got it up just in the nick of time. Gets the return pass. There's a lead pass here. Goudreau, third line action here. Goudreau, Noseworthy. But they're in the middle of a change as well, so Goudreau's all by herself trying to spread away there from a couple of players. McMillan, you see in the bottom of your screen, number 10. Pekovic also up there. Here is Skirvin now. We'll send it back to the point. And the shot is blocked and it doesn't get through. The Huskies right there preventing it. Skirvin there, a little bit of a backhander, and once again easily stopped by Clark.
Still, both teams seem to be kind of feeling one another out. Nobody's really taken the advantage. Both have had some chances. X has done well so far, getting the puck to net, causing a little bit of chaos with rebounds. Just haven't been able to find somebody getting on the end of one yet.
Joel, they came out with the new rankings there to U Sports Women's Championship, and nothing really has changed. St. Mary's number 2, Manitoba number 1, and StFX number 3 will complete that list a little bit later on here in the broadcast. But some of the teams that were 6th and 7th have moved up into 4th and 5th. But whatever happens here, both, of course, go to the championships in Western University in London, Ontario, as that hits a glove on the bench. 8 minutes and 57 seconds left to go here in the first period as we take a look at Siobhan Birch. Birch out of Mississauga, Ontario. In her second year, was 11th in the AUS at scoring 10 goals and 11 assists. She's been shut out here in this championship round against StFX, but a lot of these top line scorers have been. It's been other providers, like with the exception of Brooke Murphy for SMU. A lot of the top lines have just been a little bit shut out here in this series. They're hoping to change things here tonight. There's a wrist shot from Goddess that just gets through. She got right to the face-off circle on the outside and put it on and just get pucks towards the net. maybe good things happen.
Well, it'll be interesting to note tonight who ends up being the difference maker. In this one game, winner takes all, somebody's going to step up and make the big play at the big time. And I'll be curious to see if it's going to be one of the people that you expect or if it's going to be some of the depth players that choose this moment to step up and shine.
Puck back out center ice area. Here's the 5th-year senior, Lance Lee from Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia, jumping it in all by herself first there. Gravel also up there for StFX. Comes up with the puck, tries to kick it, puts it right onto the stick of Murphy. Murphy gets a second chance and unable to get a shot as she falls down before it gets the shot. Delayed offside, so Huskies have to touch up, and they do. StFX, a little bit of a sloppy change as the pass is picked off by Birch. Birch now going in, nice couple of nice moves. Oh, didn't miss by much. And another penalty coming up, and once again that first line causing havoc for StFX. And a tripping call with 7:59 left to go. All that sort of resulted as a turnover in their own end goal.
Well, this is a little bit of an issue that they had on Friday night as well. StFX getting a little bit of sloppy with the defensive zone coverage in their own zone. You saw Birch able to kind of walk right through everybody there just before the penalty. But even before that, on the initial break-in, the X-Women got themselves a little lost, got a little bit too addicted to chasing the puck and weren't watching behind them. And that just led to a little bit more zone time for the Huskies.
Power play number 2 here so far. Huskies 0 for 1, hoping here to draw first blood in game number 3 of the Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championship. Here on 5TV1, Birch there, of course, got that dangerous chance there that really resulted in this power play opportunity for Shmew. Minute 33 left, and the penalty to McDonald. Howarth, I don't know how she got that through, but she did. Birch there, now will send it back to the point here to Wilkinson. Wilkinson now settles it over to Wardle. Wardle that actually hits the stick there of Corcoran as she gets her big body in the way, the big stick in the way of that one. Wardle now has the puck once again. Just manages to hold the line. Lansleeve drives and didn't miss the top shelf by much. Might have been by about 2 feet. 7 minutes left to go. A minute left in the penalty. Lansleeve does a little bit of a lap. That hits bodies out front. Askin coming in. Howarth Gash, he'll need a change. So now, of course, that evens things up here just for the meantime. There's a wrist shot. Hits bodies out front. Mulder trying to cover up. Almost Hasek style, trying to get the blocker. She's lost her stick in the process. It's out in this face-off circle, and finally a stoppage in play. And a lucky one as Mulder was out of his stick goal.
Yeah, interesting little play here. I'm not sure if it was quote-unquote not quite intentional as the Husky player just kind of skated around towards the stick, which brought it a little farther and farther away from Molnar. But you see good zone time by the Huskies, good possession. X able to keep them to the outside, but the Huskies managed to get the shots through the traffic. Made it very difficult for Molnar. As you see, heavy traffic there, not able to freeze it for a whistle.
StFX dumps it in. There's 30 seconds left in the McDonald penalty. They have Winter's Goddess, Graham, out here killing the penalty, and McKinley. The penalty killers here for the X-Women. Maybe one final rush here for Pollock, along with Horwood. Blanche Askin, that just come into the play is keep an eye on her on the face-off circle and try to set up Pollock. And it goes by her, and Goddess, right place, right time, sends it down the ice. And the Huskies are going to have to hurry. There's only 1 second left in the penalty to McDonald. She's back as the puck hops over Harrietta's stick. And this will allow a good chance here for Power. Of course, she's back in the lineup. We talked to her. She had a little bit of concussion issues. And of course, she was here with the team last year when they won silver at the championships. Pekovic loses an edge, goes down on the play. 5 minutes and 39 seconds left to go. Whistle stops play and the offside. 9-8 the shots. And, well, Joel's still waiting for the first one.
Yeah, still been lots of good action here. Despite there not being any goals, there's been lots of activity around the nets. Probably give a little bit more of the edge to the Huskies here in terms of the activity around the net. More or less because of the power play opportunities that they've had. But still, X has had a couple chances, and we're still kind of waiting for somebody to kind of break this one open for us.
StFX has the puck right now. Higgs trying to drop it back, but puts it right onto the stick of Birch. Birch pass there. She had a couple options. Wardle now will sort of tomahawk it in there. Got 2 hands on the top of the stick there. Chopped it in there for the Huskies. 5:16 left to go. Higgs once again with a second chance as they get a little bit of some fourth line action. Higgs, Noseworthy, and Goodrow. There's Goodrow making a couple of nice moves. There's a wrist shot, stick save, but a big juicy rebound, and got us right there once again. It puts a slapper wide of the net. Clark, who usually has good rebound control, that's a bit of a surprise. McKinley back to Graham. Graham actually was off falling down. Didn't get a lot on the shot there for the ex-women. Huskies get possession of the puck, and they're trying to clear it or go the other way with it as Howard now has a little bit of room. Howard heads her pocket pick there by Goddess. Goddess goes back to Winters. Winters tees it up and blocked there. Warrendale got in the way of that. Murphy and McKinley battle, hold each other up. Goddess takes the puck, spins away, tries to get McDonald. That's picked off. Birch now comes back and hits center ice area. All by herself, she'll dump it in, and she'll go off for a change with 4:17 left to go here in the first. Graham, pass, lucky not to be picked off as Aska was up there. Here's Horwood there with the shot. And getting a piece of it there was Balder with 4 left to go. Back to the point, a little bit too far out of the reach there, Schofield, so it goes right back down. And they're going to bring it back as the ex-women have iced the puck. Exactly 4 minutes left to go. First period.
So we see a little bit of the back and forth action here as X has their best sort of pressure and possession in the Husky zone since the beginning of the game, and they generate a few chances around Clark.
Bit of a scramble draw. A couple of players down to the ice trying to get their equipment back together. And of course, it's StFX come up with the puck. Graham now just takes a little bit of a bump. Of course, there's no checking here in it, but maybe incidental contact. McDonald might have got a piece of it. Nope, not quite, and they'll bring it back once again. So a tired bunch of ex-women out here will have to stay out there for this draw with 3:41 left to go. Talking to both coaches, Joel, before the game, of course, Laurent was pretty happy with the way Game 2 went. They said that they pretty well controlled the play for pretty well 60 minutes. It's just the overtime when it got away from them as another clean face-off win rolls into Molnar. And he said basically whoever wants it more is going to win Game 3 tonight.
Yeah, definitely. You can see it's a close game, just like Sunday would have been a close game. Anytime you get into that overtime, sudden death situation, it's really a game that can go either way. Much like we're seeing here tonight, it's been a very tight game, very close. Both teams have had their chances. And when you see a game like this, it can be unfortunate. Sometimes it can just be that odd bounce that causes a goal with both teams playing so well. Something needs to happen to kind of break that stalemate.
Take a look at Skirvin. We mentioned how solid she was in the face-off circle out of Summerside, Prince Edward Island in her first year. A goal and 7 assists. Up against Murphy. That would be an excellent draw here, and this time once again Skirvin gets the draw. Not really going to rely on her on trying to get points, just more trying to get that puck battle and puck possession going here. Donovan near center ice area dumps it in. Skirvin going in after it. Howard first back there for the Huskies. Lost the biscuit in the process, but Murphy right there gathers up the garbage there. Warrendale sends it back dangerously, and StFX Skirvin all over the spot, all over the ice here in this period there. There's Power. She'll dump it in, go off for a change. Nice to see her back in the lineup. They didn't know if she was going to be available. Of course, with concussions, you never know, but she seems to be okay, past the test and the prodigals and everything like that. Goddess there, sends it to an open wing, but nobody in particular. And this will allow the Huskies, Howarth there, a chance to clear. Lead pass up ahead. Warrendale tips it in the rest of the way, makes a smart play as they need a line change. So now they'll get the first fresh 5 out there. And they'll send the Pinkovic line out here of Horwood and Baker. They'll have Keepin in there, so maybe Baker may not be getting some. So a little bit of a change here for the Huskies here in the early going with 2:13 left to go. Shots even at 10 apiece. Audie down, goes wide. Backhander, blocker save by Clark, was wide of the net, but she wasn't taking a chance anyway. Schofield, and quickly up there getting it to Horwood, and Horwood will dump it in, and she'll go off for a change. Under 2 to go here in the first period. Bougeot with a burst of speed. We see this a lot. There's a shot. And a big rebound rolls in towards the blue ice. And the Some of the ex-women thought they scored, but holding the line and holding her position there was Clark. And Bugeaud, she's been doing that all series, Joel. Just with burst of speed and just takes off. And
yeah, you could see that right from her own end. Bugeaud had the speed and used it effectively. Puts that shot on net, using the Husky defender as a screen and drives to the net. Now I'll be curious to see now the referee. I didn't see Clark have real possession there on the freeze. I think the referee just being a little err on the side of caution, blowing that down. But there's still, I think, an opportunity there. So see if that can spark the ex-women here now with a big face-off and the big line out there.
Yeah, Bugeaud taking the draw once again. There's plays back underway here with 100 seconds left to go in the first period. Emerson Elliott tried to go back to Gravel. Lansley picks her pocket. One-on-one battle there. And Gravel just got enough of Lansley there to prevent that one-on-one chance. Wilkinson flips it high. She's going off for a change. And once again, this will allow Donovan for the ex-women to settle it down. To Gravel. Gravel hits center ice, rolls it in. 1:10 left to go. First period, still no score. Huskies, ex-women. AUS Women's Hockey Championship up for grabs. Series tied at 1. Final game here. As you hear the public address announcer say, the final minute of play here in the first period, and a tripping penalty coming up here with 58.1 ticks left.
Yeah, I'm not really sure if I really like this call. I mean,
McKinley
on the back check there, got the stick down, but it looked like she got the puck as she was making that. And then it's just a little bit of a hard play. That's a little bit of a, you can see her swipe. I don't know, I guess got the stick in the skates. In a game like this, it's not one of the calls I'd like to see made, but yeah, there it is.
Kind of surprised at how many calls we've seen so far here in just the first period alone. That's flipped into the ex-women bench. We're kind of maybe expected Diana Ikeda to maybe let the teams decide, but she's had that whistle pretty busy here this opening first period, Joel.
Yeah, well, this is the only call that I'd put on the mildly side of questionable. I'd like to see let go, as it wasn't really necessarily taking away a scoring chance. It wasn't really an egregious call.
Coming up in the first intermission, of course, we're going to talk to Katie Peddle. She is the first-year player here for St. Mary's. There's a wrist shot by Wilkinson, stopped by Molnar. Nice rebound control and sends it towards the corner. 30 seconds left in the period. Minute and 28 left in the penalty to McKinley for tripping. Murphy there, who had 2 goals here in this very building Friday night. And that hits the netting, and they'll bring it outside the line. 20.6 ticks left to go. Shots even at 11 apiece.
Yeah, a bit of a break there for the ex-women as that one went off a Husky before going up into the netting. So the face-off, yeah, going to come outside here as everybody's lined up in the zone. But the referee clearly indicated it was going to come outside. So I think even the ex-women and the Huskies are a little bit surprised by that. But as I mentioned, a little bit of a break with 20 seconds left that the face-off comes outside for the ex-women.
Sophie Thompson dropping the puck there. One of the 2 lineswomen. The other one is Jade Orglavie. Sends it down. 13 seconds left in the period. About a minute 10 left in the McKinley penalty. So Spew's going to have to hurry here to try to get one here before the first period comes to an end. 3 seconds left as Horwood just rolls it in. They did get a chance there. Lansley trying to center it there, but Molnar put her big goal stick out to prevent that pass. So that's how the first period ends. Shots even 11 apiece there. And a minute 1 will be carried over into the second period of the McKinley tripping penalty. But, buddy, let's get your thoughts here on the opening 20 minutes of play. Good end-to-end action.
Yeah, good play by both teams. I think it's interesting. I don't think anybody's playing tight, but everybody's just kind of waiting for something to happen. Both teams have had their chances. You see ex-women have put it on net a few times and had a few rebound chances. I give a little bit of the extra possession to the Huskies, but both teams have played well. Both teams have had their chance, and I think there's still a lot to be determined here tonight.
Okay, so we're going to step aside here for a break. Coming up is our first intermission, and we will talk to Labrador Cities, Newfoundland, Labrador's native daughter, Katie Peddle, first-year science student with the St. Mary's Huskies. So We're going to take a break. We'll be back here with that interview here on 5TV1's coverage of the 2018 Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championships on TV1.
A country on our shoulders, an arena ready to erupt, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
Signor Caboto! On deck, sir. You won't believe your eyes.
Captain, over here! You must see this! Look at the captain down there. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Amazing. So
Codfish, so thick they stayed the progress of our ship. Your fleets will have no further need of Iceland. Fish is enough to feed this kingdom, oh sire, until the end of time.
If you like this, you'll like this too. Introducing Budweiser Prohibition Brew. The first non-alcoholic beer that actually tastes like beer.
Welcome back to the Charles V. Keating Center here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia. No score after 20 minutes of play in the 2018 Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championship between the St. Francis Xavier X women and the St. Mary's Huskies. Back here, our first intermission guest, it's Katie Peddle. Thanks for joining us here. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the game here so far?
Very close game. Obviously, score 0-0. I think both teams are very equal in this game, both pushing hard. So whoever's going to take it's going to take it. Okay, your first year, as we talked about, from Labrador City. Talk to us about the development, the grassroots of women's hockey in Newfoundland, Labrador. Well, I started off playing hockey when I was pretty young. There wasn't many girls actually playing hockey when I started, so I grew up playing hockey with the boys, and I think that after a couple of years, the girls' league, it really helped me out, growing up playing hockey at home. Home hockey is different hockey. Okay, you're a first-year science student. So, of course, we said, what has been your biggest experience here so far playing in your first year with St. Mary's? Honestly, it's been crazy. It's such a different game. From going from high school hockey to university hockey is a big step up. I mean, the girls are a lot faster, a lot stronger. It's a completely different game. Okay, so we talked about, of course, your background is that you was at Stansted College Spartans. Talk about your experience there, maybe some of the coaches that you've had, and, maybe some highlights of your moments that you've had in that championship or provincial championships or when you played for them. So I went to Stansted because I had to get out of Lab City. I had to play hockey somewhere where the competition was a lot better. So it was a big challenge for me because I moved to Quebec, which is a lot different than Lab City. There's a lot of French, a lot of different things going on. And honestly, my coaches, they were very tough. I had a bit of a struggle with that, adapting to the changing coaching because I wasn't used to that at all. But I think after after I finished my first year, the second year was a lot different. I was used to the coaching. I was used to what the game was all about. So it was different, but I really loved it. Yeah, we're in the same building, of course, as the X-Men. They play hockey here tomorrow night. Brad Peddle, is he any relation to you at all? No. Not that I know of, anyways. I just figured out we'd ask you. We're in that building. No, I'm not. I don't think I am, anyways. Yeah. Okay. So, of course, returning next season here to St. Mary's. What are some of the things that maybe you want to work on in the off season? Maybe there's other things you want to do, maybe play soccer just to stay in shape or something. What is it that, women hockey players do to, get ready for the upcoming season? Well, my first week here at St. Mary's, training camp was hard, so I got to be ready for that one. I got to work hard all summer, on the ice, off the ice, get the money, get the work in. I think that's really important coming in. Okay, this is one of my favorite moments. You'll like this. It's called Getting to Know Katie. So, favorite food? Oranges. Yeah. Okay. All right. This one's a little easier.
what has been your favorite hockey moment as a player?
Oh, wow, that's a tough one. But I went to Canada Games with Team Newfoundland a couple years ago. By far the best experience, hockey-wise, of my life. But being here right now, being able to watch the girls play in the AUS final game is pretty cool.
Now, of course, you're going to the championships. Regardless of that, you must be pretty happy to be going.
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, I haven't experienced anything like that before, so I think being able to go in my first year is a pretty awesome experience.
Okay, so yeah, as I say, you're a science student now. What's your main goal? Like when you took the program, came to SMU, what was your goal to after graduating?
So I'm at SMU. I'm getting my 4 years of a science degree, and then after that, I want to go into prosthetic school. So work with artificial limbs and help people use them and adapt to them. So it's pretty cool.
That's an interesting field. It's like, what made you ever think of maybe that type of field? Were you just sitting on the couch one day, say, "Hey, that's the field I want to pursue"?
I don't know. I just saw it somewhere someday, and I always had the dream of helping people when I was older. So I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay, so I talked to you about your career. What about after hockey here? Do you plan on maybe wanting to play overseas, or do you want to stay in Canada, sort of thing?
I want to play hockey for as long as I can, so wherever that takes me.
So, of course, we have one couple more questions here before we sign off on this. It's, Chris Larad, how has the relationship with you and him been? If he's a fantastic coach, has done very well at this level for 7 years. Coming over here, how did the first indicating meeting go, and how has the relationship grown?
At the beginning of the year, I have to admit, I was a little scared. I know he's like one of the best coaches in the country, so I knew that he had high expectations for me and my game, but I think the relationship has grown, and he's the best coach I've ever had, by far.
Of course, who was your coach there at Stansted?
Sarah Valancourt. She's actually an Olympic gold medalist, so it was pretty cool, but she was very tough. She had that mentality of an Olympian, for sure.
Yeah. Of course, I guess, one final question that I have for you is that you've done very well in this, and I guess being one of the Black Aces, how do you stay mentally prepared for a game, knowing that any time you could just be going into a game? It must be pretty tough, isn't it?
It's very tough. It's really frustrating knowing that you're working hard, but you don't get to showcase your skills in the game. But you just got to stay there for the team, stay positive, do it for the team. Really, do it for the team.
Okay, we do have just a little bit more time here to talk things over. So, yeah, it's like. You ever thought maybe about coaching afterwards, or?
Yeah, I coach spring hockey and summer hockey, so at a hockey camp in PEI. So yeah, I would love to coach too. Love coaching.
Okay, well, I appreciate this. Thank you very much. Best of luck, and hopefully we'll see you on the ice next year for AUS women's hockey and for SMU.
Yes, hopefully. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. That's Katie Peddle there, first-year forward here for the St. Mary's Huskies. So we're going to take a break here, and we'll be back with more of the 2018 Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championships. No score after the opening 20 minutes of play here on 5TV1.
A country on our shoulders, an arena ready to erupt, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
Clock is ticking. It's do or die, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool. Craving warmth? You're getting warmer. Warm up your taste buds with Subway's new steak mushroom melts. 100% Canadian seasoned steak topped with sliced mushrooms and melted mozzarella cheese. Also available on Italian bread or grilled wrap. Get them while they're hot.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology, so you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry.
If you like this, you'll like this too. Introducing Budweiser Prohibition Brew. The first non-alcoholic beer that actually tastes like beer.
A country on our shoulders, an arena ready to erupt, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
Country on our shoulders, an arena ready to erupt, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
Welcome back to the Charles V. Keating Center here in Antigonish, Nova Scotia, as we take a look at some of the highlights there from this first period. No score here between the ex-women and the Huskies. My name is Dan Hobson. Delighted to have Joel McDougall here along for the call. And you know, you couldn't ask for any better way. The teams are relatively even in the regular season, and series even at 1. And after the first period of game number 3, still even. Couldn't ask for anything better.
I think even is just kind of going through the stat line here, trying to see what we have. And really, there's not much to pick apart between each team. Shots, 11 SMU, 11 StFX. Saves, 11-11. Face-offs, 1, 12 for SMU, 11 for StFX. Block shots, 3 for each team. The only difference being X have taken 3 penalties versus the 1 to the St. Mary's Huskies. And the big one, it's 0-0 on the board right now.
As you see, we're back underway here in this second period. 25 ticks gone. 35 seconds left in the McKinley penalty. She's off for a trip here, so still waiting for our first power play goal from either team here in this series. And Huskies have one for power play for all of 23 seconds left. But Donovan will send it up to Audie there. Audie tries to chip it down and does, but not quite all the way down, as Wilkinson will retrieve it from her own face-off circle and now turns on the Jets. Has a little bit of open ice and some speed. Wilkinson there takes a light bump there from Halliday, and just like that, the puck battle won there by McDonald and slaps it down the ice as McKinley returns. So no dice there for SMU on the power play. Just past 1 minute gone here as that puck goes by everybody. First back there for the ex-women is Corcoran out of Bloomfield, Prince Edward Island in her 5th year. Turns it over there. There's a shot there by Wardle, chest wide of the net. Trying to clear it is McDonald. She does get it outside the line. It's knocked back in, but there was one of the Huskies players trapped in there. Offside here, the minute 25 gone here in the second period as we take a look at Nicole Corcoran out of Bloomfield, Prince Edward Island. 1 goal and 6 assists. More known to be a stay-at-home sort of defensewoman here. Skirvin on the draw against Pekovic here for the ex-women's Skirvin and Huskies Pekovic. They're taking the draw. It's a bit of a scramble draw, keeping here as they're going back to a little bit of this fourth line that has worked very well here in these championships here. Barber keeping, and they have Pekovic out here on the draw. On that center line here, fourth line action. There is Barber keeping. Big bodies that just go towards the net where they have the puck. Let's see what they've got in store here in this shift. Power picks it off, will roll it in, and Clark not taking any chances as Skirba was coming up and covers up for the whistle. A lot of whistles here so far in the second period, Joel. And
yeah, we had a pretty wide open first period, but right now, I mean, as the game gets deeper and deeper, that one mistake that could lead to a goal gets even more magnified. So a little bit of a choppy start here. That'll happen though when you have a penalty, because obviously the X-Women were just trying to kill that off and dumping it down. Now both teams will try and settle in and see who can establish themselves here in the second period.
Couple of players there bump in behind the boards there. Pollock there trying to spin away from 2 X-Women, and she kind of does there. Puts it across. One-timer. Actually, Blanche had to settle it down, tried to get the one-timer. It was a bouncing puck, and it took a couple of seconds, and that allowed Mulner to go post to post to come up with the save. Definitely one of their best chances there. 2 minutes and 42 seconds gone here in the second period. Still looking for our first one between the X-Women and Huskies in game number 3 of the Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championships. Lead pass up ahead for Birch, and a nice stick there. Once again, Corcoran, pardon me, for the X-Women. Here's McMillan. She just picks the pocket and goes the other way to Birch. She'll dump it in, and that goes right to Mulner, and she covers up there, not taking any chances here. 3 minutes, 8 seconds gone in the second period.
Yeah,
so take a look at Mulner.
Yeah, Mulner, big save there as well, too. Also a bit fortunate that Birch didn't one-time this chance. As you see it come, it's going to come across the slot all alone, wide open in front of the net. If she's able to shoot that right away, she's got a yawning cage, and this game's 1-0.
Yeah, it was a bouncing puck, so a little bit of lady luck there on the StFX side right now. There's Askin there. Of course, she got the lone Husky goal in game number 2. Backhand pass to nobody in particular there for the Huskies as Horwood's up there looking for the loose puck there along the far side boards along with McDonald. And also up there was Audie there for the X-Women. But the X-Women having difficulty clearing, and this is when Spew is at their best. There's McKinley being forced there by keeping. So once again, they're going with the big unit there of keeping Barber, and now trying to complete that change as keeping now will go off. So now the Pollock line will come back along with Lance Sleeve and Blanche, the second unit here for the X-Women out here trying to break the eggs here on a Tuesday night here from Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Back out center and down the rest of the way as icing is called against the X-Women, and that's one of the Huskies' specialties, Joel, is once they get that cycle game going, they're hard to do it, and this is how they carried the play in game number 2 when they were at SMU on Sunday night.
Yeah, tough possession game, and you can see it's just taking a little bit of a toll on the X-Women now as they're just having trouble getting it out of their own zone, and especially here in the second period when you have that long change, because once you get it out, then you have to go for a change, so maintaining possession and trying to turn it back the other way becomes that much more difficult.
Winters comes up with the puck there for the X-Women. Still can't clear. Pollock there, might have been tripped there by McKinley, but of course Aikita right there says no dice as play continues on, and they've iced it once again, so this will be a tired unit out here. Goddess, Graham, as well as Winters and McDonald and McKinley will have to stay if they on the ice as they've iced the puck, and Wilkinson, as you see, goes off for a change there for the Huskies. Take a look at the veteran coaching staff here of the Huskies, led by Chris Lorette in his 7th year. Another clean face-off win here for the Huskies. Trying to center it there. It actually hits a stick and goes over Schofield and back out center ice area. Asking there to no-look pass to Warrendale. Brooke Murphy follows it up, tried to kick it towards her stick there. Went back to Warrendale. Nice piece of work by McDonald. Here's a lead pass. Skirman, one-on-one, Skirman! Stopped by Clark! And a little bit of help there by the Huskies, and here we go, pushing and shoving. Don't often see it in women's hockey, but Skirman with a breakaway got in behind the D, and Clark whiffed the pad, and you can see them look like they're swallowing a piano right now, this ex-women team.
Oh, it's actually fortunate they get the break here. Comes their way via actually a bad change as 2 ex-women changed and the puck went back into the ex-women zone. But luckily they turn it back over and away to the races goes the ex-women. Nice little chance. Tried to slide it 5-hole. Clark managed to shut the door, and Noseworthy was there looking for some garbage. It still was open there. So no problem with her digging in there. It was still open in the legs of Clark.
Skirman, who of course had 1 goal and 7 assists in the regular season, looking for her first goal. Of course, her 1 goal this season came against St. Mary's. Was hoping for maybe a little bit of a repeat performance, but not that time. 5 minutes, 22 seconds gone here in the second period. Teams making changes. Of course, the hardware's in the house, Joel. One of these teams, of course, will be going as the AUS champions. The other ones will be the representative. And we mentioned, of course, they came up with the new standings. Manitoba still number 1, and St. Mary's number 2, and StFX at number 3. So, yes, they're both going, but one of them wants to win a championship. For the Huskies, they want to win their 3rd. For StFX, they want to win their 1st since 2014, 2015. Here's Bujo. She's had 9 shots in the 2 games combined here so far. That one won't get through, as the Huskies will clear it. Gets by everybody. Halliday in a foot race with Birch. Birch just making a nuisance of herself, and they get it up to the team captain, Audie. Rink-wide pass trying to be knocked down, settled down there by Emerson Elliott. And I know that the ex-women fans back home watching it here at the Charles V. Keating Center would like to see her get going. She has been held off the sheet, the Rookie of the Year. Audie thought about shooting, hesitates. Now a couple of maroon jerseys come over as they force her towards the corner and turn the puck over. Pollock now hits center ice area, blows a tire. Elliott goes down as well, dumps it in the rest of the way, was the Huskies. They'll put it up to an open wing as some of the fans here at the Keating Center start to make some noise here, trying to get in behind. Of course, the second period is the long change here, so they'll have some stretch passes, and here's one that they tried to click on as Pekovic was in the air territory there trying to get a long lead pass, unable to get a shot there on that attempt. Dumped back in there by the Huskies as Donovan there trying to spin away from a couple of Husky players. Audie up there now for StFX. And once again, the Huskies with this cycle game. Horwood once again spinning away. Nice little work there by Skirman as she got a little bit of better positioning there, prevented that scoring chance as there's a bouncing puck. Donovan there sends it to the far side. Gravel trying to spin away, and now they reverse it as Power's coming up. Lots of pressure here by the Huskies. Ex-women unable to get it out. Emerson Elliott now. That's picked off. Donovan there trying to tomahawk it once again. Brooke Murphy. Warrendale blows a tire, did get a shot, steered aside, but not much in terms of mustard on that one. And they finally clear. Here's Power trying to go, and a nice stick there by Howard. She has been pretty fantastic here for the Huskies in that role, Joel.
Yeah, the Huskies with some good possession. The ex-women being a little bit of their own worst enemy. They're hesitating a little too much when they've had chances to clear. Just holding the puck a split second too long, and the Huskies are on them whenever they're doing that.
11:56 left to go here in the second period. Still waiting for our first one here. Series tied at 1. Championship will be either going to Halifax, Nova Scotia, or stayed here in Antigonish. Of course, Halifax where it's been the last 2 years, and they want to make it number 3. Askin now will try to set it into Landslave. McKinley all over her. And now we've got a broken stick out there, so advantage here for the Huskies, and diving was McDonald to get it out. And they'll have to regroup. Schofield. Landslave tried to dump it in. McDonald blocks that. They get a second chance as it's set in, and the Huskies get a chance to complete a change. Better second period out of SMU here. Lots more pressure here for sure, Joel.
Yeah, no, it has been a lot of pressure for the Huskies as they've kind of taken over here in the beginning part of this second period. But again, the X-Women making poor decisions. This puck could have been out over a minute ago, but going up through the middle cross ice, and it's picked off by the Huskies, and that's just led to extended time in the X-Women zone.
And now they've iced the puck as things go from bad to worse. But the thing is, most importantly, where it matters is on the scoreboard. Still nothing across. 47 seconds away from the halfway point of period number 2. As we take a look at Goddess there, Kate Goddess out of Sherwood Park, Alberta, had 4 goals and 3 assists in the regular season, and she has turned into be a scoring monster here in this series. She had 2 goals in game number 1, and then an assist in game number 2. So could she be one of those unsung heroes, Joel? We'll have to wait and see.
The longer this game stays scoreless, it's obviously just going to be the potential just be one shot, one goal that decides this series, decides this season.
Halliday bothered there by Harrietta, but X-Women will get possession of the puck, but not for long as they turn it over to their center ice area. Audie tries to swing at it to get it in and can't. SMU once again Askin there trying to put a saucer pass, trying to break Murphy loose. Picked off by Bujold. Keeping now, dumps it in. Birch out there for the Huskies, trying to come to it, but won't get there in time. Audie, the team captain, flips it up. Center ice area, Noseworthy as Ben Berfume does a little bit of line changing here. Goudreau, Noseworthy. And now Higgs joins the play as they get a chance to complete the change. So the Higgs, Noseworthy, Goudreau line, the third line out here for the X-Women. Past the halfway point here, 9:42 left to go. Birch, all by herself, tries to run through a white wall and is unsuccessful. Higgs can't knock that one down, slapped out by Howarth. Graham has to wait, but she was a little bit eager as Higgs and Noseworthy were still in the blue line, offside. 9:31 left to go in the second period. Shots 15-14 in favor of the hometown X-Women.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising to see the shots be so even. The Huskies have definitely dominated the possession of play here, keeping it in the X-Women's zone. But in all reality, there hasn't been a whole lot of extremely dangerous scoring chances come out of that as well. So the X-Women very fortunate to still be tied here and not giving up too many big opportunities. So see if they can't turn their fortunes around a little bit. And the one thing they're definitely leading on is icings here so far this period.
Yeah, Skirmit, you saw the question look on her face. They'll bring the puck down into the X-Women's zone on the icing. Skirmit, of course, had the best chance here for the X-Women here in the second period. Pollock and Skirmit on the draw. A bit of a scramble one, but it's going to be the X-Women that came up with it. They get it out to center, get it out to blue line, pardon me, but no further. Gravel looks around, tries to hit Power. Loose puck there, and it will be StFX that comes up with possession of the puck. Donovan now goes in after it. Watched by Blanche. Askin comes in. Skirmit. Here's Patty Ann Tracy here. Had 4 goals in the regular season. No assists there in her first year out of Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Pollock. The Bedford native in her 5th year. Lead pass there to Horwood. A little bit too far out of reach, and now the SMU Huskies have iced the puck with 8:42 left to go in the second period. As we take a look at Clark, and then you see some of the Antigonish Bulldogs, of course, names synonymous with hockey here in this area. They used to have a junior A team. Those beautiful jerseys. Did you ever like those jerseys of the Bulldogs? Or
I never liked them because I played against them quite a bit. But
I figured I'd set you up for that one.
But I have a interest on the team. I can see 3 of my nieces over there as the female hockey in this town is phenomenal, I gotta say. Like I said, I got 3 nieces. 2 of them were out for the ceremony before the game. So they're all here. They love the game. They're passionate about it, and they support it here very well in Antigonish.
And you think of some of the great players that have actually, of course, there's the Ellen McLean, Landon Pitts, who's now playing for the Novas. We'll finish that point here after this scoring chance there. His keeping's right there, and she gets a little bit of a stick in the back there from McKinley. And Molnar stops just to finish my point, but you were talking about how strong it is. They have a lot of players that have, you know, playing in Pee Wee as we take a look at the replay.
Yeah, well, this whole community has been pretty strong as we see a little bit of the replay here. Antigonish and this whole area, obviously with the Bulldogs here, with the StFX X-Women and X-Men as well, too. You look at the Cape Breton West Islanders that tell us national champions last year. They get fed from the Antigonish community as well, so.
Landon Pitts, of course, with the Novas, Major Bantas. Of course, they are in a playoff run there. Provincials coming up a few weekends from now. And she plays with the guys on the team, and that's no strange task to her, as that shot is from the blue line there by Winters, is stopped there by Clark. 7:43 left to go. She gets a tap on the head. So as you mentioned, pretty strong females playing here, and of course, hoping maybe eventually someday those nieces maybe play for the Subway Selects, the major midget team that plays in the female hockey league.
Well, it's just nice to see even that. I mean, you look at it here, watching the AUS women, obviously very strong in the country with both these teams being second and third. And it's just a great built-in recruiting process. If you have a strong minor hockey system, female and men, it just makes it that much easier when these kids come up and they start going to school. Easier they choose to stay home and they get to play hockey still.
Of course, my broadcast colleague is originally from Cape Breton, so he had a smile on his face when the Islanders won that TELUS Cup there just last year.
Small one, yeah.
7 minutes left to go here in the second period. Lance Leave here trying to get things going. The Lance Leave Pollock line, and Blanche was out there. Now they make a line change. Horwood there, just fresh off the bench and knocked down before she could get a shot. She has been all over the ice here. Horwood, Pekovic, and Baker. The third line, there's a chance there by StFX, and that's denied there as they ran out of real estate. Russ McDonald. Barber now hits the corner, puts on the brakes. Horwood in there as well. Baker getting some playing time here. Of course, she was our intermission guest here on Friday night. 6:26 left to go as Timmerman will go back. Puts on the brakes there. Barber near center ice. Actually hits Wardle, who's going in after. Corcoran first there for the X-Women. Spins it up to Audie. Can Audie get it to the blue line and out? Not right now, but a second chance. Bougeot there's a battle of the 16s come together there just outside the blue line. Wardle there trying to set Siobhan. Birch scores! Beautiful tip by Birch. 1-0. 6:01 left to go in the second.
And you can see the excitement as that breaks the ice here. As we get our first goal of the game, 14 minutes into the second period. As Birch, who's had a couple of really good opportunities already here tonight, finds a way to put this one in. You can see Huskies gain the zone, and it's just a nice little tip as it's thrown towards the net, and Birch gets a stick on it. No chance really for Molnar on that one. As Warndle throws it to the slot, Birch just gets her stick out in front of it and knifes it up into the top corner above the blocker of Molnar.
Well, of course, now it's game on here for the X-Women. Both of these teams, of course, have one in each other's burns. Spew draws first blood here on this one, as Warndle gets the assist on Birch here at 13:59. A slapper from Tracy, that doesn't get through. McMillan there to Pollock. Pollock can't handle it. Arietta settles it down there. Lead pass, Lanceleaf, just under her stick. Gravel had it momentarily for StFX. Battle along the boards now. 4 white jerseys come up with the puck there. Winters, or pardon me, Power unable to come up with it. Dump back in. Here's Donovan now. 5:14 left to go. Runs into keeping, and the ex-women bench wants a penalty. Downey had her arms up in the air. Aikida says, not today, Ray. Play on. 5 left to go. Horwood there takes a bump there. Throws it along the boards. Aikida tried to get out of town. Finally does. Halliday tipped and noseworthy sends it towards the corner, keeping there. First had a chance to clear for the Smew Huskies. Unable to. Goodrow out here. His third line out here for the ex-women. 4:37 left to go. Keeping using her big body there. Sometimes she's hard to stop once she gets going. They'll roll it into Molnar, and whistle stops play. Exactly 4.5 left to go. Second period. As we take a look at Corcoran there to Bloomfield, Prince Edward Island. As we take a look at the rate of play here of Donovan by the Mare Machine, New Brunswick.
I think this is where Keeping comes up, angles her off into the boards, and this is where it gets to that questionable territory in body contact. We saw the call at the end of the first period where I was like, that's a bit of a questionable call on a trip. If you called that one, I'd kind of lean towards that. Looked a lot like body contact and taking out the ex-woman. And you're going to have a face-off at center ice. I think there was a little bit of a quick whistle on that one. Thought that Molnar was going to cover it up, but obviously didn't.
The dying stages of that replay, we might have saw Downey, the assistant coach, with her hands up in the air, not too pleased. Anyway, still 1-0, 4:15 left to go. Second period. Birch from Warrnambool, 13:59. McKinley now trying to turn on the Jets, has got us with her. McKinley with a shot. Clark doesn't know where it is, and all of a sudden the body's kept on driving towards the net, and IKEA has her hand up in the air, and it's going to be an interference call against McKinley, and you can see she's not too pleased about it.
Well, I can understand why she's not too pleased. McKinley just came up the ice with a lot of speed, and she did everything she could, I thought, to kind of avoid the collision with Clark. As she just goes to net. I don't know about that. I mean, maybe she didn't avoid everything as much as she could, but at the same time, that was not a dangerous play in on Clark. She's just following up on her shot here. As we watch her with speed, gains the line. Nice shot through traffic. Clark has it. And I mean, Wilkinson gives her a little shot. She's just trying to cut across the face there.
A big kill here for the ex-women. Here in the late stages of the second period, McKinley off for goaltender interference. As I mentioned before, the power plays so far have been powerless for both the teams. Askin holds the line there, but a nice little work there. She went down on all fours there to get that out, and that was Donovan. Blanche now. And it just came outside the line on the offside. 3:26 to go. Second period.
I think the ex-women have to use this as motivation. Obviously, they were a little bit questioning the non-call on Keeping earlier, and then they get a good scoring chance and get a penalty called against them that I know that they kind of think is a little unfair. I think questionable at best. So we've got to have a big kill here and then try and use that as motivation to come back here and tie this one up if they can before the end of the second.
Murphy, Birch, Warrnambool here, the top line. Also Wilkinson and Howarth on the power play unit as this will slide by Howarth and towards the back. 58 seconds left in the McKinley penalty as Wilkinson puts on the brakes. Her pass tried to hit Birch. Birch will have to come back for it. She's trying to spin away from Gaddis. 2:48 left to go. Saucer over to Murphy, who chips it in the rest of the way. But it will be Graham first back, tries to go high, and just does get it out. And Gaddis gets it down the rest of the way, but not completely down, just inside the Husky blue line. 2.5 left to go here in the second period. 28 seconds left in the McKinley penalty. Barber there, that's too far for her. As Winters will steer towards the corner and out of harm's way. And that'll send it to the open wing. Askin pitch it in, try to set Pekovic up. Barber's also there, gets to the blue line, but no further. Keeping with a wrist shot. And stick save there by Molnar. She's coming up to the task. 6 seconds left to go in the McKinley penalty. So it looks like the Huskies will go over on the power play once again. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the second period. 13:59. We had a goal from Birch and Warrendale on the assist for the Huskies as they look for their third straight AUS Women's Hockey Championship. The AUS executive in the house here to prevent the hardware. But is it going to be going back to SMU or staying here at StFX? Still lots of time left to figure that one out. 1.5 left to go. Halliday, and a nice piece of work there by Lansley. Picks her pocket, and now Lansley will go off for a change. Pollock up there trying to come up with a loose puck and can't. It's Audie who spins away from Blanche on a nice move. Puts on the brakes. Quickly up to Emerson Elliott. Elliott there just can't get anything going in this series so far. As we're coming up to 1 minute, you'll hear the PA announcer say it.
Last minute of play in this period.
There he is, so 57 seconds left to go here. Last stages here in this second period. And we have an offside as it just comes outside the line, so we'll drop the puck there just outside of the ex-women bench as we take a look at Goudreau out of Airdrie, Alberta in her third year. There's the Warrendale here, so setting up that nice little goal once
here,
again, yeah.
Another interesting development we'll see. Donovan went down there, was on the ice for a little bit as the play kept going, and got to the bench finally, and she's already gone to the dressing room.
Yeah, of course, the SMU Huskies, they've been dressing 7 defensemen, so all of a sudden, ex-women could be down to 5s. As we take a look at Halliday out of Smith Falls, Ontario, 7 points in the regular season. Clark looking pretty good in this game so far here. Has faced 17 shots, has stopped 17 shots. 29 seconds left to go here in the second period. Corcoran trying to spin away. Lansley will get there for the Huskies. Back to Wilkinson. And that's blocked there by McDonald. McKinley, McDonald, and Goddess try to get things going here. McKinley and Henrietta gets over in time to snuff out that potential scoring chance there for the ex-women. 5 seconds left to go. Weak shot from outside is stopped by Clark as she steers it in behind the boards as the horn goes to end the second period. 18 apiece, the shots on goal, but where it counts, Joel, is on the scoreboard. And a nice little goal. We seen it earlier from Birch from Warrendale at 13:59. And you love that goal because it was, just couldn't put it at a better spot if you tried.
Yeah, there was really no play for
There it is.
Molnar on this play as Warrendale just throws it into the slot. Birch going harder than that. Extends, full extension to get a stick on that and knife it up into the top corner. Really no chance for Molnar on it, and that's really the only deciding factor so far in this game as everything else still remains pretty even.
As I mentioned, shots 18 apiece, so we're going to take a break. Coming up in our second intermission, Sarah Johnson, the fourth-year player with the St. Francis Xavier ex-women out of Moncton, New Brunswick, will join us here, and we're going to talk some women's hockey and, of course, talk about her background and stuff. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back. After 40 minutes of play, it's the St. Mary's Huskies 1, the St. Francis Xavier ex-women no score here at the 2018 Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championships on 5 TV, Channel 1.
There's nothing faster than light. Fiber optic uses light to deliver the internet. It's the fastest internet technology. So you can share, learn, stream, or do whatever you want at the speed of light. And only Bell brings fiber optic internet right to your home.
Craving warmth? You're getting warmer. Warm up your taste buds with Subway's new steak mushroom melts. 100% Canadian seasoned steak, topped with sliced mushrooms and melted mozzarella cheese. Also available on Italian bread or grilled wrap. Get them while they're hot.
Hey, welcome back to the Charles V. Keating Center here at Antigonish, Nova Scotia. Birch the lone goal scorer for the Huskies. They lead after 40 minutes of play, 1-0. Doesn't make this girl too happy about that. It's Sarah Johnson, number 96 here for the ex-women. The fourth year plays out of Moncton. Glad you could join us here. Let's get your thoughts on the game after 40 minutes of play.
Okay, well, first of all, I think the game is pretty intense. Like, both teams have brought lots of strengths. It's very fast, and both teams are winning the battle, and it's really nice to see. Obviously, the goal that Smith scored, I'm not too happy about it, so hopefully X can pick it up and we can keep rolling for the third period.
As I mentioned, you're a fourth-year student out of Moncton, so you played your hockey with the Moncton Rockets, a very strong hockey program out of Moncton. Describe your term there, your time with the Rockets.
It was a great experience, my years there. I learned a lot, actually, as a player, and I grew, and I definitely enjoyed my time. Yeah, it was really good.
Any like teammates that you have faced, that used to be teammates when you played with the Rockets here in Atlantic University Sport?
Yeah, I've faced a couple. Brooke Murphy for this Mew, actually. I played with her, so now facing off against her, so that's kind of fun, I guess, you could say.
You guys talk over the summertime?
Yeah, a little bit. Wish each other good luck.
Friendly chirping, I guess?
Yeah, always friendly. Keeping it friendly.
Okay, so while we're talking off air, you say that you're a BA in Human Kinetics. Describe that program to maybe some of the people out there that maybe not quite have heard of that, because I haven't heard of it myself.
Well, Human Kinetics it's originally like a science program, but there's also a art side to it. I'm actually in pre-education, and I just got accepted into the education program to teach, hopefully, phys ed in the elementary stream, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I said you're a fourth year, so with that news that you just said, is this going to be probably your graduating year?
Yes, it will be. I got my ring this year, so this will be my final year of undergrad, I guess.
Probably disappointed not to be in the lineup tonight, but you've had a pretty good season, would you say?
Yeah, definitely. Honestly, like, everyone wants to play, but I'm happy to support the girls. Like, they're doing a great job, and I'm just trying to keep it positive for everybody, so.
Okay, so we're off air. We were talking about maybe some favorite teammates that you might have played with, and you said, oh, there's so many. Well, you might as well, if you can, list as many as you can.
Honestly, I'd list our entire roster. This is probably one of the best teams I've ever been on. Like, we're a very close-knit group, and it's always, like, positive and so much fun. Like, we're honestly like a family, and I really enjoyed playing with everyone on the team. I couldn't just single out anyone as being my favorite because everyone means very much to me.
Okay, so, last year you went to the championships, the AUS Sport Championships. Describe that experience that it was for you to go there on the national stage.
Honestly, it was a privilege. Like, not everyone gets an opportunity to play at such a high level, and I was very happy that I got the chance to do that. Although we didn't get the outcome we wanted to, we did our very best, and I was happy to be there.
Of course, they made there was Dave Sinisha decided to step down from coaching, and Ben Berfume stepped in. Sometimes when players get used to a certain coach after a time, and in their last year have maybe, may not come back, but you decided to. Was there really much thought, or just was this pretty simple for you to come back for another year?
Oh, it was definitely simple. I obviously wanted to come back. I love this school. I love hockey here, so it wasn't a very hard decision to come back. I actually had Ben as my head coach in my first year, and then Dave took over again, and so I've had both of them, and they're both excellent coaches, so I was happy to come back, obviously.
Now, was there a difference of style of play versus Dave versus Ben?
No, not really. I guess Dave is a little more calm in the way he goes about things, and Ben is more kind of hyped up about things, but both of them are very good coaches, and they know what they're talking about, so I'm happy to have them both.
Okay, well, this has been fantastic, and thank you for this. I know you would have liked to have been out on the ice, but best of luck with win the Nationals. Hope you crack the lineup there. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, Sarah Johnson, everybody. Coming up after the break, we'll have third period coverage here of the Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championship on 5TV1 right after this.
Craving warmth? You're getting warmer. Warm up your taste buds with Subway's new steak mushroom melts. 100% Canadian seasoned steak, topped with sliced mushrooms and melted mozzarella cheese. Also available on Italian bread or grilled wrap. Get them while they're hot.
It's packed to the rafters in the Edmonton Arena. Everyone is feeling the pressure on the Grabs as they await the American champs. Here's the Cleveland favorite Knits now, and boy, do they look impressive.
Look at their uniforms. I bet you could sure run in smart shorts like those. Not that. Look, world champs, my eye.
Grads, we don't play for glory. We play the game for the game's sake. So tonight, you're going to earn that title by playing your game. Teamwork, passing. Let's show them what it means to play the Grads.
The Edmonton Grads were champions for 25 years. The record of 502 wins and only 20 losses is unmatched in all of sport.
A country on our shoulders, an arena ready to erupt, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
Finally, a non-alcoholic beer that actually tastes like beer. Introducing Budweiser Prohibition Brew.
Clock is ticking. It's do or die, and that's cool with me.
New Gatorade Frost. Play cool.
The 2018 Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championship brought to you by Subway, the official fuel of Atlantic University sport. Subway, eat fresh. Budweiser, the king of beers. Pepsi. Bell Alliance, the leaders of sports webcasting in Atlantic Canada, as well as the official broadcaster of Atlantic University Sport. Third period underway. Alongside Joel McDougall, my name is Dan Hobson. And Joel, one goal to report there in that third period, and it was a beautiful deflection there by Birch.
Yeah, it was. It was a nice play. No chance on the play for Molnar, and it's really the only thing that is different between these two teams as we still look. Shots are very similar. Saves obviously similar. There's been not a lot to differentiate the two teams. I give, again, a little bit the edge of possession to the Huskies, and they've done a good job of keeping the opportunities to the outside for the X-Women as they've got 8 blocked shots. But now there's 20 minutes left here and time for X to step up. One final opportunity. See if they can't draw even or get ahead or push this game a little bit extra.
There is Birch, their goal scorer, dump it in, and now chasing after it. Gravel first back. And whistle stops play as she didn't get there in time, so they'll bring it back into the Husky zone. Icing the call with 36 seconds left to go. I've talked about how St. Mary's and StFX second and third in the standings. Fourth, Concordia. They were 7th. Queens went to 5th after being 6th. Montreal 6th. Western, who's hosting it, went from 9 to 7. Saskatchewan 8, Guelph 9, and Nipissing is 10th. So those are your top 10. Of course, the seedings came out. John Keefe, one of the executives from Atlantic University Sport, is in the building. He's actually right close to our broadcast location. He'll be here presenting the hardware to one of these two teams. And right now, one hand is on St. Mary's, and StFX hoping maybe to take their hand off of it. Schofield, wild swing and a miss, poked at it there by McKinley outside the line, and quickly dumped back in just past 1 minute gone here in the third period. 19-18 the shots here. Of course, tomorrow night, 5TV1, we'll have game number 2 of the men's hockey final between UNB and StFX. UNB won 6-3 game 1. Game 2 tomorrow night with Peter Rutgeiser here on 5TV1. Lansleeve now, backhander, stopped by Molnar, looking for the puck. The puck's one side, she's looking for the other. And a swing there by, right there on the doorstep was Blanche, as Molnar lost sight of the puck, Joel.
Yeah, nice save by Molnar on the initial backhand. Good job to get in position and take away that short side, but a little bit concerning there. Couldn't find the puck, as luckily there was no Huskies in the vicinity.
Keeping just backhanded blindly towards an open wing. StFX tried to slap it back in, and it's blocked. There's Keeping going back there on Graham, and Graham goes in behind the net to try to get away. 17 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. Lead pass there. Tracy, don't think she saw it. Wasn't really expecting the pass, but it came her way. Keeping once again. She has been dangerous along with Barber. They've been getting some fourth line action, and Murphy sometimes centers the line, and that's the case in point here. Warndell, Murphy, and Birch, the top line out there as Warndell dumps it in from well out. Easily stopped there by Molnar. Bougeot now hits center ice. Warndell, and a penalty coming up, Joel. You can take your pick of whether it's Howarth or Warndell there in that one. Bougeot, blocker save there by Clark. That's what speed can do. It forces you to take penalties, and that's the case there.
Yeah, no, exactly right there, Dan, with the speed of Bougeot coming through the neutral zone. As you mentioned, a couple of Huskies got their stick on her. Here we see the opportunity earlier. Molnar with the nice save up high and loses it. I think she thought it came in behind her and didn't want to get caught there, so she spun that way. But a good little flurry then after that, as you see Donovan. Nice to see her back after getting injured a little late in the second. And you see, gets the stick into the midsection, and Bougeot goes down. And they have another couple good opportunities after that. See if they can carry the momentum here into the power play.
As you see, we've returned to play here. Goddess now goes on the opposite wing, now goes for a skate, almost does the lap to McKinley. Halliday now. And fanning on that one is Graham there, heels it. Goddess now picks it up there. That actually hits the stick of Askin. Blanche there along the boards along with McKinley, back to the point there. Halliday stops, sends it cross ice. There's a wild slapper there by Graham, and paying the price there was the Huskies. Halliday once again. Water one-timer, and that's blocked, and boy, they're getting into the shooting lanes. That's what they do best here, this Husky team. They have been able to shut down big offensive units here, just doing plays like that. 54 seconds left in the Warrendale penalty. Bugeaud dumps it in, goes in after it, all by herself. Turns on the Jets. Donovan now. Slapper. They can pad save. Audie there, right on the doorstep there, trying to knock the second chance opportunity at Cad. As the Huskies, 2 and done, send it back out to center ice area. Now they have a chance to completely clear it as it goes high off the glass. It gets by everybody and down the ice. Shot blocking pretty good there for Joel.
Yeah, we mentioned it that they had the lead of that coming into the third period, and a couple real big ones there, especially by Blanche, getting in the lane, taking a hard shot, and the X-Men just can't get it through.
Taking that block shot, there's one by Skirman, and another block there by the Huskies. There's a one-timer, and it's in a bunch of skates and blades. Another one-timer there by Gravel. It hits a stick, it goes high over the net. The penalty is over, coming up to the 5-minute mark here, and yet we have not got a power play goal in this series. Skirman there by herself, dumps it towards the corner. Huskies all back there, defending well here in this third period. There's a lead pass picked off by Halliday. She goes down to her knees. Henrietta sends it in the rest of the way. They'll complete the full 5 change there for St. Mary's. Patty Ann Tracy now. As we come up to the 5.5-minute mark, lead pass there for McKinley. A little bit of a softer pass. McMillan tried to get it out the rest of the way there for the Huskies. She'll get a second chance. They'll send it to the far side boards. Barber out there as well as keeping here, so a little bit of fourth line. Henrietta has some room, and we'll send it back here to Pekovic. And Pekovic finds an opening, sends it down the ice, so they have iced the puck, so they won't be able to change here. So the Pekovic, Baker Horwood, of course, they've made a little bit of line changes here. They weren't able to get the change, so McMillan will have to stay out as well as Pekovic and Barber. Take a look at the slapper here, the fake slapper here by Halliday as they
Halliday
go across
did a
ice.
good job just kind of settling things down. Gets it across. Nice shot there. There's the block by Blanche, and that one stings when you get that in there. So nice block by Blanche.
Yeah, for those that weren't with us there at game number 1, of course, Chris Lorette had plenty to say about Blanche's ability to block. It says that her hockey mentality, getting into lanes and getting into shooting paths and passing lanes there for the opposition, she's about as good as some of the AUS men, a fine compliment. And there's a case in point there. Graham there blocked, and all of a sudden it's a block party here for the Huskies. Landsleeve goes down. Bugeaud maybe a little bit lucky not to get a call. 13:25 left here, so still lots of hockey left, but Huskies have her right in shutdown mode, but can they be able to stop this high offensive octane known as the X-Women? We'll have to wait and see. There's a trick one and a turnover here. Shot there by Landsleeve, doesn't get a lot on there, but boy, that's one thing that also the coaches here from StFX were talking about, turning the puck over, and they're turning it over to like the top line, Joel.
Yeah, exactly. Bad bounce there led to a prime scoring opportunity for the Huskies. X-Women very fortunate to still be down only 1 right now after that. And again, it's been a bit of a theme here. They've been a little sloppy in their own zone here in this series.
McKinley just kicked it out with her skate. It's quickly set back in there by the Huskies. They'll set it up to McDonald. Nice little pass there to Skirman. Skirman now cuts towards the middle. Power there with a shot. Didn't get a lot on it. Of course, she's back in the lineup. Emily Power in her third year, 5 points in the regular season. And of course, if you weren't with us off the top, she was missing in game number 1 and 2. Back here today in the lineup, and Burrows is out as well as Johnson out. One little lineup change there for StFX as the Huskies get out to center ice area. It's actually blown down there, so we'll have a stoppage in play. 2 seconds left of the 8-minute mark as we take a look at the ex-women team. Of course, last year they had hard break at the Alumni Arena. They tied the game. It went to triple overtime. And then Gemma McDonald, a graduating player from St. Mary's, got the goal in overtime. One of the longest games in AUS women's hockey history to win the championship for St. Mary's in their home barn. StFX hoping that that doesn't happen once again. They don't want this championship won by SMU in their barn. They'd like to win it here tonight. Horwood now, 1-on-2, all by herself. Hits the body there, grab, still doing some great work. She's got her lunch pail on and her hard hat, and she's ready to go to work. Emma Winters, out of Lower Sackville in her 4th year. Didn't get a goal this season, 6 assists in the regular season. In her 4th season, and that's sent down the ice to an open wing, and they've iced the puck as St. Mary's, but they're okay with this because they're killing time. They may not be able to get the change, but they have been a little bit better in the face-off circle here tonight than game 2, Joel.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game to play, though. This bend, not break defense. They have the 1-goal lead. They have a good defensive team, but at the same time, you can't just forego offense and just allow the ex-women to kind of come at you in waves, because you never know when that chance might come, and they'll put one behind Clark.
Pekovic out here as well as Barber. As play is blown down there as it rolls into Clark, and she covers up here, so now they get the change that they want. There was a tired Huskies out there, Pekovic, Barber, and Horwood, as Lorad has changed the lines up here a bit.
Yeah, good opportunity here. McDonald maybe a little bit over anxious, takes the shot. If she had been able to wait a little bit for a little bit of traffic to kind of get to the net, might have been a bit better scoring opportunity for the ex-women.
What Goddess is this year for StFX, McDonald was last year, one of those unsung scoring heroes, and this period is brought to you by icing as we have another one here, 10:38 left to go. There is the aforementioned Goddess, the 2nd-year player, of course, out of Sherwood Park, Alberta. Murphy and McKinley on the draw. McKinley gets a clean face-off win, but it's stolen there by the Huskies. And a nice little wraparound chance there by Birch. Birch, so far the difference maker in this one, the lone goal on the board. 20 seconds away from the halfway point here in the 3rd period. 1-0 the score, 24-21. The shots now in favor of the Huskies. Sent in. Wilkinson first back. Bujout out there forcing the issue. Schofield now. Dangerous pass. Does get by Audie as we reach the halfway point. Bujout centering pass. Emerson driving towards the net. Unable to get position as Howarth there, and a good one-on-one battle prevented that scoring chance.
Yeah, another good chance here for the ex-women. They turn it over at the blue line. Audie gets it to Bujold, who makes a smart play with Elliott, cutting to the middle. And it's just a nice play coming back hard. It's Katie Petal.
Landsleeve now trying to get it out the rest of the way. Tried to knife it there by Halliday. Unsuccessful. Howarth there with that nice defensive play a couple of seconds ago. Blanche now for the Huskies. Late pass. Pollock now tries to cut and has her stick checked there by Halliday. And now they'll send it to the far side boards. Kept alive. Howard with a wrist shot. And a stick save there by Mulder. Steers it towards the corner. 9:23 left to go. Emerson Elliott, she's been shut out in this series. Emerson Elliott tried to kick it up to her stick, but unable to get the shot as the Huskies back defending now. Bodies flying all over the place. Audie going towards the net. And I don't think the shot gets through there. Huskies here trying to hold on here. Good bounce back shift. And now a penalty coming up here in towards the corner. This will be just what the doctor ordered for StFX, is a penalty coming up with 8:57 left to go.
Good work by Schurman here to draw this penalty. It was Schurman along the wall as the Huskies try and clear this one. It's turned over a couple times. And you see Elliott can't get to the net. Audie tries again herself. Then coming up the wall here, Schurman does a nice job on the forecheck, pushes it down low. Huskies trying to stop her, end up taking her down, and that's going to be 2 minutes or less in the box for the Huskies.
Big moment here, Joel, in this one. Harrietta going off for the trip, as you hear. 8:42 left to go here in the third period. 1-0, Bujo the goal scorer in the second period. McKinley now drives. Does a lap behind the net. Stops by Gretzky's office for a bit. There's a one-timer by Graham and a stop there by Clark, but it left a juicy rebound, but it's cleared by Spew.
Been a bit of that story all night. The rebound there, and nobody in a white shirt able to get onto it because it dropped right in front of Clark into a prime scoring area. But good setup by the X-Women. Too bad they just couldn't maintain that possession for longer than one and done.
8:07 left to go. 1:06 left to go with the penalty. This play stopped on the offside. 8:04, as I mentioned, 1:07 left. You know, Donovan's been all over the ice tonight, Joel, as we take a look at her there, and she's pretty well a good offensive-minded player. Now, Donovan, of course, was 9th in the AUS, 4 goals and 18 assists, so she's been shut down. So you got to give Smew credit. They have shut down some of the big scorers here for StFX.
Yeah, I think you look, especially in Donovan's case, you look at the block shot category. Early on, the X-Women had found a way to get some shots on and hadn't been able to get anybody on the rebound, but the Huskies have done a good job to block the lanes, and there's Donovan with a nice chance there. Is that one in behind Clark? I don't think, I saw no indication from the ref.
We hear the horn go, the fans are reacting.
No, they're not calling, there's no goal call on this.
No. A little bit eager is the hometown crowd here, but let's take a look at it.
But I'd be curious to know where that puck was, though. Because the goal made no call. And you can see Howarth actually digging in behind Clark. The referee made no call on this, not even like a no-goal sign. Again, I'm just a little curious as to where that puck had gone.
So the crowd settles down after that one. 17 seconds left in the Harrietta penalty. Fans thought that StFX tied it up, but not the case.
But a little unusual. The referee's normally going to make an initial call on that. No goal, the goal. But the referee just came in after the play. Arms didn't make any indication of anything at all. And it's just that kind of confusion or ambiguity that often leads to everybody being a little confused. X-Women thinking they had scored, and obviously they hadn't at this point. But
penalty to Harrietta is over, so they're even strength right now. 6:36 left to go. Landsleeve, Pekovic, and keeping the top line, one of the forward lines out here for St. Mary's, and unable to get anything in terms of composite of that. There was Landsleeve. She's getting right close to an end of a shift here. Murphy was going for a skate. Puck was in her skates, and she didn't even know it. 6:15 left to go. Third period. Tracy now. Picked off. Birch, wrist shot and a big blocker save. The rookie put it right onto the veteran, and she was aiming for the top corner, but got the blocker out in time. Was Mulder. Birch again. Stopped by Mulder. She's well outside the blue ice to make the stop. Joel.
Yeah, the Huskies all back right now, making sure that nobody's getting caught in behind them. And the X-Women just, again, a little loose in the defensive coverage. That was just too easy of a shot for Birch to walk in unmolested and get a shot on net from prime scoring area.
Bit of a scramble draw. Pollock there. A little bit of a knuckler that she got a little bit of stick on it, and Mulliner had to make a save. 5:47 left to go. Donovan dumping it in and flips it high over the glass and out of play.
That's going to be a penalty. That was directly over the glass without touching anything.
Yep, no question.
So it'll be interesting to see. The X-Women had a decent power play the last time, but weren't able to get anything on it.
Wilkinson, the third year out of Prince George, British Columbia, will go to the sin bin, 2 or less here for the delay of game. Gravel slapper and stopped by Clark. A one and done, but they can't clear. Gravel there trying to feather it through and can't. Askin trying to settle the bouncing puck down. Of course, we're into the late stages here of the third period. 5:26 left to go. Donovan holds the line. Try to spin away from Wardville. She'll send it over here. Bugeaud. Donovan spins away from Wardville. Bugeaud trying to get it over to Gravel, and a stick there by Murphy. Of course, she had 2 goals in game number 1. Pokes it out the center ice area. And a steal there. Turnover. They put it right onto the stick of Warrenville. And I saw your reaction. You're just got to wonder what some of these X-Women are doing in terms of passing.
Just a questionable play there by Donovan and where she was going with that one. It was one defender on her, and she chose to try and go through her as the last person back.
Forward wild swing and gets it out the rest of the way. 58 seconds left, and the penalty to Wilkinson. Halliday, Audie, McKinley out here. And once again, Spew just cluttering things up. But McKinley will come in, pardon me. Drop pass, nobody in particular. Howarth all by herself as Horwood blew a tire, so she sends it down the rest of the way. 35 seconds left to go in the penalty to Wilkinson. 4:13 left to go in the third.
Just not good support on the puck by the X-Women right here, as the initial rush there by McKinley was on the near side here all by herself. And then when they finally did get the zone, they lost the puck. They drop it back like they did here, and nobody's there to pick it up.
A discombobulated X-Women team right now. 8 seconds left to go, and the penalty to Wilkinson. One final dash. Skirman with a shot that's stopped by Clark. She gets her own rebound. Donovan now. Back to Gravel. Penalized players back on. McDonald, wild swing there right on the doorstep. Anxious moments once again that get the crowd reacted here at the Charles V. Keating Center. McDonald now. Just onside. 3:25 left to go as they go in towards the near side boards. Skirman now trying to go, but has her pocket picked there. Keeping can't get it out. Landsleeve just off her and in behind the net. A gassed bunch of X-Women are going for a change. In the meantime, Pollock, here's a 2-on-1. Pollock, Landsleeve, Pollock! Saved by Molnar. And Landsleeve unable to settle it down to get it off the rebound, but a 2-on-1. And you're going to see them take a little more chances here late stages, Joel. 2:53 left.
Yeah, it wasn't necessarily offensive risk. It was just the change that was poorly executed there, led to the 2-on-1. If X-Women can come back in this, mark that save by Molnar on the 2-on-1 as a potential turning point if the X-Women can get something going here and tie this game up late.
Batten down the hatchets, hold on to everything you can. Here we go. All hands on deck with 2:27 left to go. Corcoran trying to spin away from Birch. Donovan, 2:20 left to go. Shots 28-27 here. Emerson Elliott blanked here so far in the first 2 games, and nothing here in game 3 as that goes high. Thought I might have had a glove on the bench, but play will continue on. 2:07 left to go as Audie missed game 2 for suspension. Unable to get anything going in this series as well. There's a pass to nobody in particular. It's picked off there and skated out of harm's way by Pollock. 1:50 left to go. Puck rolls to the corner. Horwood there, back to Henrietta. Huskies not panicking here. 100 seconds left to go. Gravel back into her own zone. Pollock, Horwood watching. McKinley can't kick it to her stick as the Huskies smother in the center ice area. Pollock rolls it in from center ice. 1:23 left to go. So we'll have to keep an eye on Molnar here. We're getting to that juncture of the game, Joel.
Yeah, the Huskies just not letting them get through the neutral zone and get any possession low where they could take Molnar out yet. You can see Coach Berthiaume is ready. He's got his arm up. As soon as they can gain possession, he's going to be calling Molnar.
PA announcer says last minute of play here in the third period. So here we go. Huskies trying to win their third straight AUS Women's Hockey Championship. In the meantime, stoppage of play, 46.8 ticks left to go as they try to get this crowd going here at the Charles V. Keating Center in Antigonish.
I'll be interested to see if Coach, here we go, Coach Berthiaume's going to take a timeout here. Rest up everybody that he wants to have out there. Game plan this a little bit, which they might need to figure out a way that they can get the puck out of the neutral zone into the Husky zone for the final 47 seconds here.
Here's that 2-on-1 on that bad change, and Pollock with the shot, and Lansley had a chance there, just couldn't settle it down.
Yeah, great goaltending though by Molnar, taking the shooter as a goaltender is meant to. Pollock coming in on the off wing too, had a good shooting angle. I think maybe tried to look to go 5-hole.
Now pretty well this is what you do, is you sit down and you talk about what you're going to do if you win the draw, what you do if you lose the draw, and as Ben Berthiaume talks things over, you take a look at it, of course. We had our second intermission guest of Sarah Johnson talk about. She'd been here for 4 years. He was her coach for first year and Sinishin for 2, and Berthiaume back here for the 4th. Was kind of hoping to win a championship after guiding him to a first place finish. There goes Molnar skating towards the bench. The extra attacker is on here. 35 seconds left to go. Puck back to the blue line. Donovan now. 6 skaters aside here for the X-Women. Puts it towards the net, and I'm not sure how Clark saw it, Joel, but she came up with a stop.
Good work on both ends here. Donovan moving around, trying to find a lane to get that puck through and not have it blocked on the way to the net. You see she changes the angle a little bit. And you see the C's just kind of parted there for the shot, and Clark was able to see it.
Play back underway, 22 seconds left to go. Halliday tees it up, and that's blocked by Lansley. Seen a lot here of that in the third period by the Huskies. 13 seconds left to go. Puck in behind the net, centering there. Lansley, right spot. There, 6 seconds left. Donovan, gonna slap it. Glove save by Clark. And a 55-footer, sorry.
Another good play there, both by Donovan and Clark. Donovan with a little hesitation as the blocker slides by on this play, and it's a nice glove by Clark. As you can see, it comes across to Donovan. Time running down, you've got to know that you're got to get the shot off, but she has the presence of mind to hold it that split second longer to get it through. Off the face-off, one back.
Fans on it! Third straight Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championship going back to Halifax, Nova Scotia, the St. Mary's Huskies. Last year this series was a home-and-home series. This year the visiting team has won all 3 games. 1-0 the final score, and heartbreak for StFX once again. As we take a look at an excited bunch of Husky players, second ranked. Katie Peddle involved in that. Chris Larad, 7 years in charge. And another championship to boot. And for this ex-women team, of course, so much expectations. They thought that this was their year to do it, but especially with that first place finish, having the home ice advantage, but no team took advantage of the home ice advantage, Joel.
No, I mean, really no fault on anybody. You look at the games, 4-2 in game 1, was close game the whole way through. 2-1 overtime victory for StFX in game 2, and then a 1-0 victory here. StFX coming out ahead on the shot total as well, and had some really good chances just at the very end. Just got to wonder if we had seen a little bit more of that push from the X-Women earlier on in the game, getting those shots through if this could be a different result. But still, there's going to be a lot to decide when these two teams, whether they meet one another at the Nationals or not. Still, that's the ultimate prize that both of them still believe, and rightfully so, have a chance to win.
Looking at a dejected but a very team meeting there of the ex-women. Of course, excitement there for the Huskies. Hard to believe. It just seems like yesterday when the Husky women's hockey program was almost talked out of being on the athletic schedule there for them. And here they are once again, third time, it's the charm, champions here at the AUS women's hockey level. As you see the teams shake hands, and as you mentioned, Joel, just pretty well a quick turnaround, and off to the Nationals, which are going to be in London, Ontario at Western University, and both of these teams, 2 of the top 3, so strong representation going to be at those championships. As you see the ex-women salute the big crowd here that have come here to the Charles V. Keating Center. They were kind of hoping for a championship celebration, but it was not to be.
Okay, we'd like to welcome John Keefe, Director of Events.
John Keefe, the Director of Atlantic University Sport, one of the official directors of Atlantic University Sport, representing Atlantic University Sport. John Keefe is here tonight to present the hardware and the player of the game. Mulder got the player of the game there for the ex-women, and she stood on her head, Joel. Game number 2. Pretty well forced this into a game 3.
And she had a strong game here tonight. There's absolutely nothing that she could have done on the one goal that did get behind her. There is the goal scorer, Birch, with the game winner tonight, which was a nice deflection. Just found the top corner above Molnar in the second period.
Next, we will present the Playoff Most Valuable Player Award.
MVP award being presented here.
From the 2018 Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championship is from the St. Mary's Huskies, number 33, Rebecca Clark.
Can't disagree with that one there. She was pretty spectacular as well, Rebecca Clark, Joel.
Yeah, it would have been my pick as well, too.
Back-to-back championships for her. And the ex-women are skating off.
And now,
because the hardware is going to be presented here.
The captains of the St. Mary's Huskies to please come forward for the presentation.
I like this from Daly-Otti. Daly-Otti gone over to get her teammates and says, look, come on back out here.
Couple of fifth-year seniors, Lance Sleeve, Pollock. Of course, Aska there, she's in her 4th year. And Warrenville in her 4th year. Your 2017-2018 Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championships from Halifax, Nova Scotia, the St. Mary's Huskies. John Keefe there as they present the banner and the championship. So let's get your final thoughts on what has been a fantastic series here, Joel.
I think the big thought that I'll take away from this is that it still isn't over. Close series. St. Mary's Huskies obviously going to take home the title. They can take the bragging rights of being the AUS champions again. But again, there's going to be another meeting, I think, between these two teams, potentially at the Nationals or whoever comes out on top at that tournament. And then as well, too, this is a nice little rivalry that's growing. There's still next year. A lot of these players will be returning. So great hockey, but it ain't over yet.
Yeah. And at this time, of course, this will be my last broadcast of the year. We want to thank our hardworking crew that have brought you, of course, AUS Sport. Of course, this crew we have here, Chris, Dave, our producer, Brian Fisher. Thank you very much. Joel, it's been a pleasure. Awesome working with you always. We should do this once again.
Always is, Dan. Look forward to the next time.
All right, there you go. There you see the three fingers up in the air, the three-time champions, the St. Mary's Huskies. So, for our entire crew and my broadcast colleague Joel McDougall, my name is Dan Hobson. So long from the Charles V. Keating Center, and congratulations once again to the St. Mary's Huskies, your 2018 Subway AUS Women's Hockey Championship. So long from Antigonish. You're watching 5TV1, the leaders in sports, the official broadcaster of Atlantic University Sport. Good night, folks.
Hey, go on! Go on! Mind your own business!
The antenna is holding, sir.
Yes. Bravo. Oh, there. Yes, indeed.
This is going to make your world a lot different than the one I grew up in. You know where England is?
Sure, it's over there.
And over there is where that sound is coming from. Right, Mr. Marconi?
Through the air, across the ocean, the first time ever.
Roger, 8 plus 34, 9 plus 09.
Craving warmth? You're getting warmer. Warm up your taste buds with Subway's new steak mushroom melts. 100% Canadian seasoned steak topped with sliced mushrooms and melted mozzarella cheese. Also available on Italian bread or grilled wrap. Get them while they're hot.